Welcome to E3 Rehab. I'm Dr. Mark Sertica, physical therapist. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how to perform band-resisted push-ups, outline 5 reasons to do them, and discuss how to program them into your routine. There are several ways to set up the band for band-resisted push-ups, so you can choose from one of the 4 methods that I'm going to show based on your preference, but regardless of the variation you choose, you want to make sure that the band is secure, doesn't impede your arm movement, and is actually in line with the direction of your push-up. So, step 1, you're going to loop the band around your hands and leave it as is, or start by creating a figure 8 with the band and then loop it around your hands. Step 2, you're going to wrap the band around your back and either have your arms between the band or the band on the outside of your arms. You can do this with either setup in step 1. I'm personally not a fan of the band on the inside aspect of my arms, as the band just seems to get caught up on my forearm. Step 3, you're going to perform the actual push-up, and the main difference here with the band is that there's going to be significantly more resistance at the top of the movement, so you want to think about pushing the floor away from you at the top to get that protraction of the shoulder blades. I recommend starting with a lighter band to get the technique down. And as I mentioned earlier, the band should be secure and in line with the direction of the push-up, so just make sure it's not too high or too low on your back. All right, so what are the 5 reasons why you might want to incorporate band-resisted push-ups? Reason 1, strength. A study by Calateud et al. In 2015 demonstrated that band-resisted push-ups may elicit similar strength gains as the bench press. The researchers recruited college students considered to be advanced trainees and split them into 3 groups. The control group continued with their normal training. On the other hand, one intervention group completed 5 sets of 6 repetitions using their 6 repetition max for the bench press, while the other group did the same for band-resisted push-ups. This was done twice per week for 5 weeks with rest times, tempo, technique, and grip width matched between the 2 groups. At the end of the training protocol, both groups showed similar strength gains in their 1 rep max and 6 rep max for the bench press and band-resisted push-up. Does this mean that band-resisted push-ups can completely replace the bench press? No, of course not. But this exercise can be a viable option if you're limited on equipment or if you just prefer it. Reason 2, hypertrophy. If you take an exercise like the push-up and perform it through a large range of motion at a sufficient intensity where you approach failure or actually reach failure for an appropriate number of sets, you will likely stimulate muscle growth. The band-resisted push-up might be a way to enhance this process. Normally, the push-up is the most difficult at the bottom position. However, the band makes the movement challenging throughout the entire range of motion and grants the ability to approach failure with a fewer number of repetitions based on the resistance of the band. This will allow you to work toward failure in different rep ranges. Something that I like to do on occasion that can be very time efficient is perform band-resisted push-ups to failure where I can no longer lock out at the top. Then, I lose the band and continue with regular push-ups until I reach failure again. It's essentially a drop set and seems to work well for me as part of a comprehensive program. Reason 3, rehabilitation. Whether you're having pain in your elbow or shoulder that's limiting you during pressing movements, some individuals respond to weight-bearing exercises like the push-up much better than non-weight-bearing exercises like the dumbbell or barbell bench press. Part of this might have to do with allowing the shoulders to move freely during the push-up, which might provide more options for movement variability that makes the exercise more comfortable for the shoulders than keeping them pinned back. You just have to test it out and see if it works for you. Reason 4, serratus anterior and rotator cuff. We actually did an entire video on this exact topic. The serratus anterior and rotator cuff receive a lot of attention in fitness and rehabilitation circles, but training them doesn't necessarily require a significant amount of isolation exercises. Something like a push-up, especially with the addition of a band and a cue to press the floor away from you at the top of the movement to facilitate protraction, will challenge the serratus anterior and rotator cuff in addition to other muscle groups like the pecs and triceps. Reason 5, versatility. I had to throw this one in. Band-resisted push-ups are cheap, easily scalable, and convenient because they require very little space, and if you don't have access to a gym while you're traveling or for other reasons, all you need is a band. Now, if you want to program band-resisted push-ups into your own routine, it's going to somewhat depend on what you're currently doing for pressing movements. As a very general framework, you can do 3 to 5 sets of 5 to 20 repetitions, 1 to 3 days per week. You can find a good starting point for you and then progress over time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave any questions in the comments below. You can also head over to our website, e3rehab.com, to check out our blogs, podcasts, and rehab programs. Peace.